Hello, and welcome to Greg's Game Room. Now today we're going to be talking about a little-known fighting game that goes by the name of Mortal Kombat II for the SEGA Genesis. In all actuality, Mortal Kombat 2 was a pretty big deal back in the day, and there were several versions of this arcade classic, including one for the Super Nintendo. But, like I say, today we're just going to be talking about the SEGA Genesis version of the game, so let's go check it out.
Fight!
As you may know, Mortal Kombat 2 was originally an arcade game produced by Midway and is the sequel to the highly successful original. Mortal Kombat games are unique one-on-one fighting games using digitized characters to add a level of realism over other fighting games of the day. Well, this is what passed for realism back in the 90s. Don't judge us! Released in 1994, the Genesis conversion of Mortal Kombat 2 was developed by Probe and includes all your favorites, including Yellow Ninja Guy, Blue Ninja Guy, Lightning Man, Hollywood Heartthrob, and Bruce Lee Ripoff Guy. I'm kidding, of course, but we all know that Blue Ninja Guy's real name is Blue Ice Dude. In addition to those original characters, there are several new ones, including Jax, Katana, Kung Lao, and Mileena, and Reptile, and my favorite mutant monster with the large teeth, Baraka. Now, each of these characters have the same basic moves: uppercuts, leg sweeps, roundhouse kicks, throws, and jump kicks, but they also have their own unique special moves too. Some have fireballs, Scorpion has a spear, Sub-Zero throws ice, Raiden throws lightning. There are special slide moves, teleport moves, kick moves, punch moves, all do more damage than a regular attack would. Of all these, though, my favorite special attack has got to be Baraka's scissor attack. It's just so blatantly, brutally hilarious. When you win the match, you're given a few short seconds to perform a finishing move. Most of the time, it's going to be a murderous fatality that is going to send mothers across the country into a tizzy. But Mortal Kombat 2 also has what's known as babalities and friendships, which can only be performed after a player wins the final round by using only kicks. These add an extra dimension of fun to the game, even if they are rather silly. Now, some of these stages even include special fatalities. The Deadpool, the Combat Tomb, and the Pit 2, you can uppercut your opponent into the stage, but it does require a special key combination, which, I can never remember. Alright, I'm going in the drink. Ah! Once you fight your way to the top, you must contend with this four-armed freak named Kintaro. If you're not careful, he will jump up and down on you, pounding your character into a pulp. He's tough to beat, and your regular attacks don't do as much damage, but with proper training, you can beat him. Whoa! That was unexpected. It was easier that time. Alright, now we're up to Shao Kahn.
You will die.
After Kintaro is the big boss baddie himself, Shao Kahn, who has no relation to the villain from Star Trek, but honestly I think he should have. Both are supermen and very difficult to beat. Not only that, but he's totally cheap. If he catches you in the corner, it's all over. To defeat him, wait for him to start monologuing. And then hammer him with your special move. Keep jumping backwards and pressing that kick button. This will cause him to block, giving you some distance to maneuver. Trust me, you do not want to get up close to this guy. Yes! Yes! Once you beat him, he turns into stone. Okay, I never really understood why that happens, but then he explodes and you get a, honestly, rather lame ending with a bunch of scrolling text. Now, I find the graphics and sounds in the Genesis version of the game to be very good, but not quite like the arcade. For example, the graphics in the first stage called the Deadpool look a bit bland. Some of the other stages are missing little animated bits or have less color, such as Dan Borden's Toasty cameo. Compare this with the 32X version and you'll see some minor differences.
Fight. Outstanding. Outstanding. Finish him.
And because I know somebody's going to ask, here is a quick comparison of the Super Nintendo versus the Genesis version. Now, I feel that the Genesis version plays a bit better, but the Super Nintendo graphics and sound are better. Since I had a Genesis back in the day, this was my preferred version, and I've gotten pretty darn good at it. One of the tricks I've discovered is how easy the very hard difficulty really is. You see, when you jump away from your opponent, he, or she, will jump towards you. Of course, they are the most vulnerable when they are jumping, and that's when you want to strike.
Ooh, that's a pretty good laugh. There's only one way to defeat Mileena. She is so fast. You have to do this kick move and hope that it just keeps spamming. That's the only way to defeat her.
Finish him.
So what do you think about the Sega Genesis version of Mortal Kombat? Do you think it is a good conversion of the original arcade game, or do you still think that the Super Nintendo version is better? Let me know down in the comments. Now, if you're looking for a copy of Mortal Kombat II, it's not really that difficult to find. I think you could probably get a copy for maybe $20, $30, somewhere in that range. So if you're looking for a really good, fast fighting game, you gotta get Mortal Kombat 2 for the Sega Genesis.
I'm just gonna chop you up.